For English today, we are going to be continuing with our unit of news reports and developing your understanding of the news. Today's objective is to identify the key information from a TV news report. As you found out last week, news is communicated and reported in many different ways. So today you're going to be looking at a news broadcast from the television. When news reporters tell people the news, they're speaking in the past tense as they're reporting about events that have already happened. They're speaking in the third person, which is what we were looking at last week. And the reason they're speaking in the third person is because they're reporting about events that are not about themselves. And they're often sharing direct or reported speech, which is going to be the main focus of today's lesson. Now, direct speech is when you write down exactly what the person is saying. And to do this, you will be using speech marks. And here's an example. I don't want to eat my cabbage today, Zaid grumbled to his mother. Now, as you can see, these words are being said on behalf of the first person, and they are reported in speech marks, identifying that those are the direct words Zaid said in the first person. Now, when writing reported speech, this is when you're repeating what somebody else has said. So imagine you're telling another person what Zaid just said. You don't need to use speech marks. Now, reported speech is written in the past tense, just as direct speech can sometimes be written in. And this example down here, this is an example of reported speech. Zaid told his mum that he did not want to eat his cabbage. Both sentences mean the same, except the only difference is one is direct and one is reported. Oh, let me just move my head again over there. Newspaper articles have a mixture. They can either tell you direct or indirect reported speech. On this article here, you've got an example of reported speech. So a news article, you can see the heading, you can see the byline. Here you've got the orientation and then picture, the caption, it's meeting the criteria of a newspaper. Yet another criteria of newspaper articles are examples of either direct or reported speech. Now I'll read this reported speech example out to you. Peake told reporters that the best part of his mission was a spacewalk where he had to make a repair on the space station. So if that is reported speech, you can tell because there are no speech marks. Now, this is one of the news articles that we looked at the headlines for last week. Again, we've got the headline, the byline, orientation, picture, caption, and then down here, we've got some examples of direct speech being used. And we know straight away, if you just look for the speech marks, you'll be able to identify the direct speech. I never knew my granddad could move like that, says one of the girls that had been interviewed for this news report.